I bet you can't guess how many inventions this eccentric Professor Alvin Gadd has cooked up. And honestly, I don't blame you. There are way more than I ever expected. Fortunately for him, he's the only real genius in the Mushroom Kingdom, with zero competition. But without an invention contest, we have never really known which of his creations stands above the rest. Well, until today, welcome to the one and only Gadd Science Incorporated Invention Contest, where we'll showcase and rank all 38 of Professor E. Gadd's brilliant and sometimes bizarre inventions. That's right, 38. So let's dive in and find out which invention reigns supreme and how they could impact the world. 38. Gadgets. Unfortunate, but the last place has to belong to some invention nonetheless. Anyway, the Gadgets are just a collection of minigames in Mario Party Advance. However, they are the weakest version of minigames in any Mario Party, probably because it's just an extra mode. But that's another story. 37. Goshi Beatbrush. You know, that weird thing in Luigi's Mansion 2 that cleans up the Dark Moon pieces. It's definitely useful in that game, but it's pretty situational. Outside of Luigi's Mansion 2, you're not going to find much use for it. 36. Poltergust 4000. The Poltergust series has to be Gadd's most famous line of inventions, with each new model meant to improve upon the last. But the Poltergust 4000? Well, it's not quite what you'd expect. Instead of sucking up ghosts, it functions as a card in Mario Kart DS. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to retain any of the abilities the Poltergust 3000 had, so we are left to judge it purely as a card and nothing more. 35. Calamity Launcher. This machine lets you launch orbs all over Gadd's garage in Mario Party 6. While it's got an unlimited stock, it comes at quite a high price. The biggest downside though, you don't get to choose which orbs are scattered. It's all completely random. Many of the inventions in these lower rankings are very situational and only relevant for a specific game, as you have probably noticed by now. That's a theme around here. 34. Dark Light Device. This is an easy to use attachment for your flashlight. But unless you're hunting for booze, its usefulness is pretty limited. It can make booze visible and even bring back objects hidden behind paintings, but only if the booze have trapped something there first. If it worked on any picture, it would be incredible. But as it stands, this invention is only handy in very specific situations. Like, say, visiting a haunted mansion. Not exactly an everyday tool, right? 33. Magic Orb. A magic wand that doubles your dice roll and makes you invisible to orb triggers for a short time in Mario Party 7. But outside of Mario Party, who knows how that would work or if it would even be useful at all? What do you think? 32. Stuffwell. A suitcase that can basically store everything. No matter how many items, patches or clothes you pack, Stuffwell never complains or runs out of space. Plus he's got feet, so you don't even have to carry him. He'll just follow you around. The biggest downside, he's really talkative. I mean, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to have too many conversations with my suitcase. 31. Strobulb. The Strobulb itself isn't a bad invention. The issue is that it's only usable with the Poltergust 5000. This little button works wonders, but it's completely useless without that specific model, so unless you have the Poltergust 5000 on hand, the Strobulb won't do you any good. 30. Boo Radar. The name says it all, this device tracks down boos, making it a must-have if you're a ghost hunting plumber. However, outside of chasing after boos, there's not much reason to use it. After all, boos are only a real threat when they're following King Boo's orders. 29. Parascope. Unfortunately, we never actually get to see this invention, as it's only mentioned by Professor E. Gadd. But if I had to guess, it could probably look something like that. Yeah. It can measure paranormal activity, which could come in handy for knowing which areas to avoid. I mean, who wants to accidentally walk into a house full of ghosts? I sure don't. 28. Game Boy Horror SP. Just like with the Poltergust 4000, the Game Boy Horror SP is supposed to be an upgrade to the regular Game Boy Horror. However, we don't really see it using any of the original features from Luigi's Mansion. Instead, in Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, the SP only increases the odds of enemies dropping rare items. So that's the only ability we can really give it credit for. 27. Gaddlight. In the Luigi's Mansion series, boosts are completely unaffected by regular flashlights. But the Gaddlight fixes that exact problem. It's a special flashlight designed specifically to scare away boos. It's a shame Gadd never equipped Luigi with it in any Luigi's Mansion game yet. Maybe it's still in early development as we only see it as a one-use item in Mario Party 4. 26. Shuffle-o-tron. First of all, this machine looks hilarious. I'm not sure what it's supposed to resemble, but it's definitely unique, huh? The Shuffle-o-tron has two functions. You can toss in orbs to transform them into completely random new orbs. Or you can trade all your orbs for coins. In Mario Party it's situational whether you want to take that trade, but I could see people using this rather often to get better orbs or money. The only question is how common are orbs outside of Mario Party? I don't really got any instance of them being used somewhere else. 25. Super Poltergust 3001. Yep, you guessed it, another Poltergust upgrade. This super variant can actually fly. Equipped with a turbo launcher to zoom through the air. Unfortunately, we can't confirm if it's a true Poltergust since we only see it flying around. There's no evidence that it can suck, blow, spit elements, or if it has any other new functions besides being used as a vehicle. 24. Poltergust 5000. This invention has one big issue. It's incomplete and relies on a bunch of extra devices. Let me explain. The Poltergust 5000 on its own can only capture ghosts, suck and blow. And even that's not enough. In Luigi's Mansion 2, ghosts need to be stunned with the Strobulb before they are vulnerable. But as mentioned earlier, the Strobulb is a separate device, just like the Dark Light device. Now imagine if the Poltergust 5000 came with a built-in Strobulb and Dark Light device. It'd be 10 times better. Or maybe Gadd's just another businessman selling incomplete products for extra cash. Who knows? 23. Poltergust 3000. Another Poltergust, but this time it's the OG, the original model. The reason this one ranks higher than its successors is that we've actually seen what it can do. And it isn't split into a bunch of extra parts. On top of that, the Poltergust 3000 can suck up fire, water and ice, then use those elements to its advantage, making it super versatile in many situations. Some customers even claim it can be used as a ride to zoom around, but that's just a rumor. Or is it? 22. Gown. The name might not be the most inventive, it's literally just a gown. But here's the twist. It transforms the wearer into a ghost! Sounds awesome, right? The only issue is it hasn't been tested much, so we don't really know what ghostly abilities come with it, if there are any limits, or if there are some creepy side effects. Let's just hope for the best. With more testing, this invention has serious potential to rank way higher. 21. Elevator Tracker. This little computer-like device has built-in communication support, allowing you to call for help if you're ever trapped in an elevator, or if you're feeling lonely. No, please don't do that. Seriously, I don't know who wrote that part in the script. Anyway, the main feature of this gadget is that it analyzes the floor you're on, constantly updating a map on its screen to show the current layout. This could really come in handy if you're navigating a massive complex, or if you just get lost easily. 20. Game Boy Horror. Who needs a cell phone when you can have a Game Boy Horror? Honestly, I toss mine out without hesitation if I had one of these. Sure, it may not do everything a phone does, but you can make video calls, use it as a portable map, and it automatically manages your finances and inventory. What more could you ask for? Don't you agree? 19. Dual Scream. This is a Luigi's Mansion 2 version of the Game Boy Horror. It serves the exact same purpose, with the main difference being its design and the fact that it has 2 screens instead of 1. Still super easy to carry around. And listen to this! Oh god, absolute banger! 18. Virtual Boo. Guess what? This one serves the same communication purpose. And wow, the communication gadget has really evolved over time. It may be a little more tedious to carry around since it's slightly bigger than its predecessors, but the way it's used in the user interface is peak design by Gadd. 17. Gadd Battle Machine. Technically, this invention consists of 4 parts: the Gadd body, the Gadd jet, the Gadd engine, and the Gadd cannon. But since they all work seamlessly together, they are considered one big invention. What can I say? This is a battle tank. It's a monster and overall really dangerous. However, its weak point seems to be its fragility. Even colliding with something as small as a spiny can already cause damage. Still, it's probably one of the strongest battle machines in the entire Mushroom Kingdom. 16. Teleportation Unit. Anything involving teleportation is undeniable cool, useful, and just plain awesome. The teleportation unit consists of 3 stations that teleport the user clockwise to the next one. I mean, who wouldn't want to try that at least once, right? The downside, however, is that you need a second person to activate the process. One person stands in the teleporter while the other pulls the lever to make it work. Maybe there's a cooldown that could let you do it solo, but we've never seen anyone except Professor Gadd himself manning the controls. 15. Vacuum Orb. This little vacuum sucks in money, and that already sounds amazing. But before you get too excited, you have to spin a wheel to determine how many coins you'll get from each person. Most outcomes aren't that big, except for the 10 coin reward, but that's only a 25% chance. So it's a bit of a long shot. Still, it's all about perspective. Imagine sucking in just 1 coin from every person on Earth. I'd become a millionaire overnight. Heck, I wouldn't even need to host the show anymore. Wait, scratch that last part. Please don't tell my boss. Anyway, the range is likely pretty limited as we see in Mario Party 7, where only characters on the same board are affected. You'd probably still nab a few coins, but it's not a get-rich quick scheme. Oh, and there might be some legal issues. 14. Ghost Portrificationizer. Ever wanted a spooky collection of real ghost paintings? Well, that's exactly what this invention does. It traps ghosts inside paintings, so they can't cause any more trouble. Pretty wild, right? But here's where it gets even crazier. It works in reverse too, and apparently it can also work on non-ghosts. Unless Mario regaining his physical form was just a one-time fluke. I guess we'll never know for sure. 13. The Vault. Now, here's a better alternative, honestly. Instead of locking our ghosts away in dead paintings, we give them a bit more freedom. Though ironically, they are still trapped. Haha. The vault is basically like a zoo for ghosts, where we can safely observe how they behave from a nice, secure distance. Just look at him! Isn't he adorable? 12. F.L.U.D. Or as it's officially known... hold on. Let me check my notes. Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing Device? Yeah, no wonder everyone just calls it F.L.U.D. But this little pump could easily become your new best friend. And wow, it can do a lot. Check it out. F.L.U.D comes with 4 different nozzles. The squirt nozzle lets you spray water and clean up dirty areas. The hover nozzle lets you float above the ground for a short time. Dang, I really wanna try this someday. The turbo nozzle lets you zoom through the streets and even crash through doors. The rocket nozzle blasts you high into the sky, though I'm not sure if the landing will be as smooth. We still need to figure that part out. And can you do the crazy water sliding with it? Maybe. That's a science of its own. Either way, this thing is amazing. 11. Robo Mario. Exactly what it sounds like. A robot designed to copy the infamous Mushroom Kingdom hero, Mario. But well, something must have gone wrong because Robo Mario seems more like an evil version of the real heroic counterpart. When you race him in Mario Kart Arcade GP, you'll notice he can generate banana peels and green shells all on his own. Don't ask me how, but he does. Unfortunately, we only see him behind the wheel, so we don't know if Robo Mario is anything like regular Mario when not karting. Maybe he's just a racing bot, but maybe we never were supposed to see him at all. Who knows? Break time! We'll be right back with the top 10! Want a hint about the greatest invention the Mushroom Kingdom has ever seen? Fine! Just for being so patient, I'll give you a sneak peek. But do me a small favor first. Hit those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. I mean, you've stuck around this long, so I promise you won't regret it. Okay, here's your hint for the number 1 spot. It's made by the same company making this video possible, Gaddgets Incorporated. Hurry, hurry, get back to the top 10 before they can get mad at me, quick! 10. E-Gate. We already know that teleportation is one of the coolest and most useful inventions out there, so of course E-Gate didn't stop at just one attempt. Enter the E-Gates. This time you don't need an assistant to help, but sadly it's not completely solo either. You need the Strobulb to activate the magic, but at least once you power up one E-Gate, its counterpart will activate simultaneously. Oh, and that creepy weird green substance? Yeah, it might look strange, but hey, it works like a charm, so don't be worried. 9. DS Time Radar. There's not a lot known about this tool, but here's what we do know. It acts as a sort of remote control exclusively for Professor E. Gadd. He can use it to operate his other inventions from any distance, even across different timelines. It also gives him information about current conditions and wherever his devices are located. This makes it super handy for managing and controlling multiple projects simultaneously, no matter how far apart they are. Sounds like the ultimate tool for multitasking and just keeping stuff clearly. 8. Wolf Suckage Apparatus. Wow, this thing is like a vacuum mop on steroids. It's a massive, powerful fan that sucks up coins like nobody's business. You can literally see how hard the people affected struggle as their coins get drained away. So range definitely is an issue with this bad boy. The real problem is probably going to be, well, the law. But hey, maybe there isn't a rule yet but sucking money straight out of people's pockets. 7. Poltergust G-00. Here we are again with hands down the best Poltergust in the entire lineup. It's also the latest in the series, and fun fact, it's the first to break the unofficial naming trend of the previous Poltergusts. But let me tell you why the G-00 stands out. First off, unlike earlier models where the Strobulb was a separate hassle, this one finally has the Strobulb built in. Something that should have been a feature ages ago. But wait, there's more! It also comes with the suction shot, which allows you to fire plungers, making it easier to drag heavy objects around. Or if you're feeling wild, slam those objects into the ground. It's super satisfying, though maybe not always practical. Now, vacuums aren't exactly known for being the most portable tools. And with all these features packed in, it's no wonder Luigi, who's normally known for his high jumps, can't hop at all in any of the Luigi's Mansion games. But worry not! The burst feature lets you launch yourself into the air, creating a blast of air pressure along the way. And if you thought that was it, think again. There's also the Super Suction, a turbocharged mode that kicks in when plugged into special sockets, maxing out the Poltergust's power. Oh, and there's this gooey green substance tank attached to the back, but that's another huge invention we'll have to cover separately. 6. Hydrogush 4000. Remember the flashlight, the FLUDD? Well, meet its bigger, bulkier cousin, the Hydrogush 4000. Sure, it may have lost its sleek body, but in exchange it got wheels and the massive power upgrade. While it might look similar to FLUDD, this beast is in a completely different league. Unlike FLUDD's portability, the Hydrogush is a stationary machine. But don't let that fool you, it's powerful enough to stop an entire volcanic eruption! Yeah, you heard that right, a volcano! It's both impressive and kind of hilarious when you think about it. That said, you probably wouldn't want this in your house unless you want to see your water bill skyrocket. But hey, stopping volcanic eruptions isn't something you need every day, though it's always nice to be prepared, right? 5. Magic Brush. Imagine painting anything you want and watching it become real. That sounds like a fever dream, right? Well, that's exactly what the Magic Brush does. There might be some limits though, so let's break down what we know for sure. The Magic Brush can create all sorts of goop and even summon living creatures from the goop, like goobles or proto-piranhas. The crazy part? You could technically build an endless army of allies this way. We are not sure if it's limited to just these creatures or if Bowser Jr. simply preferred them. In Bowser's Fury, we see how this power can backfire when used on normal creatures, as Fury Bowser is a result of the Magic Brush's power. So yeah, maybe not the best tool for kids. Oh well. On top of that, the brush can create graffiti that functions as a literal warp, essentially teleporting you. The process looks painful, being scattered into particles, but I doubt you'd feel much, and it's over in an instant. 4. Gooigi. Of course, Gooigi is part of the Poltergust G-00, which you can technically read as goo. That's the pun here. Like with the Strobulb and the Poltergust 5000, Gooigi is an external addition, but he can be used outside of the G-00 too. In fact, we first see him in the remake of the original Luigi's Mansion. The tank just helps keep things organized and allows Gooigi to recover when he falls apart or simply needs a break. Gooigi is literally a doppelganger of Luigi, equipped with his own slightly weaker Poltergust G-00. He can defend himself, which is awesome! Who wouldn't want a gooey doppelganger? Sure, he's a bit lacking in emotions and, well, color, but maybe we can work on that. Just be careful, water and fire are deadly to Gooigi, melting him instantly. So, don't send him out in the rain. Holy cow, those are some amazing inventions. We didn't promise too much, huh? But trust me, it's about to get even crazier with the top 3. These next ones will blow your mind. You know what else needs to get blown up first though? That's right, the subscribe button. You can't touch it. Nope. Good, alright, we won't keep you waiting any longer. Here are the 3 best inventions of Gadd Science Incorporated. Enjoy! 3. Portable Laboratory. This is no trick, it's exactly what it sounds like. You can take this tiny little thingy anywhere and set it up. And yes, it's a fully functional portable laboratory. But let's be real, most people would just use it as a home. Don't ask me how all the interior magically fits and moves with ease, but it does. You can design the space however you want, and maybe it even adjusts to add more room, who knows. You could set it up deep in the woods far from civilization, but without the hassle of camping. Boom, problem solved. Instead of having a boring non-mobile house, you place this portable home anywhere on your property, and when it's time to move, it's the easiest thing ever. Even vacations would be next level since you could bring your entire room with you. Seriously, the possibilities are endless. 2. Gadd's time machine. Oh boy, there's a reason time travel shows up in so many movies. It's fascinating. And our beloved professor just went ahead and made the impossible happen. A time machine that lets you jump into the past, the present, and maybe even in the future? We haven't seen it travel forward in time yet, but if it can handle the past, why not the future too, right? Princess Peach just so happened to be more interested in exploring the past when the time machine was completed. When you travel through time, it also opens these weird time holes along the way. They're not really supposed to be there, but they don't seem to cause too many issues either. Unfortunately, the time machine didn't last long. Sorry, a shroom invasion isn't an everyday occurrence. Or was it travel responsible for that? Nah, I think it was just a coincidence. Now, what about you? Would you rather travel to the past or into the future? Let me know in the comments. The long-awaited first place, and here it is, in all its glory, the invention that tops out every other masterpiece by Gadd, the Pixelator. I teased it earlier, teleportation is such a game changer, and the Pixelator is the ultimate form of it. This device lets you teleport anywhere. Well, almost anywhere, as long as you've set up a Pixelator cam at a destination. These cameras act as the point you'll teleport to, and you'll need a Pixelator screen to start the process. You therefore only need to travel to each spot on Earth once, set up a Pixelator cam, and boom, you can return anytime you want. It's basically like setting up a checkpoint that you can warp back to whenever. Sure, the process of pixelating looks a bit terrifying, but like with the magic brush, you probably won't feel a thing. It will be over in seconds, and then you'll be anywhere you need to be, saving tons of time and making life way more convenient. This is why the Pixelator takes the golden trophy as the greatest invention by Gadd. An absolutely powerful tool. It's #1 for a reason. Incredible stuff, and a special shout out to the one and only Professor Alvin Gadd. The man's a genius, and it was really fun breaking down every single invention he's ever made. I hope you enjoyed this ranking as much as I did. I tried to be as objective as possible. But hey, that's for you to decide. Do you think the rankings are fair? Did we give a certain invention too much or not enough love? Let me know your thoughts. Now, be sure to subscribe. Who knows, maybe one day you'll get to own one of Gadd's amazing inventions yourself. Otherwise, well, you might end up as one of Gadd's lab rats. A risk I wouldn't want to take. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. And why stop here? Check out this other video here, where we dive into some science of our own, ranking all the playable characters from the newest Mario Party, Super Mario Party Jamboree. Curious where your favorite characters rank? Go ahead, check it out. See ya!